The dying bromance between Donald Trump and Emmanuel Macron was finally buried today, as the U.S. president blasted his French counterpart in a furious Twitter rant. And his lengthy list of grievances go all the way back to World War II. But there could be a surprising reason for at least one of the U.S. president's angry messages. Played into President Macron's approval rating, his record on unemployment, and the tariffs France puts on imported wine from the U.S. Trump hit back at reports that he canceled a World War I cemetery visit because it had been raining. He reacted to attacks on his nationalist agenda made by Macron, who said during the commemorations, patriotism is the exact opposite of nationalism. In an astonishing broadside, Trump said France had been learning German before the U.S. came along. The U.S. president wrote, Emmanuel Macron suggests building its own army to protect Europe against the U.S., China and Russia. But it was Germany in World Wars I. Pay for NATO or not. Attacking President Macron, he added, the problem is that Emmanuel suffers from a very low approval rating in France, 26%, and an unemployment rate of almost 10%. He was just trying to get onto another subject. By the way, there is no country more nationalist than France, very proud people and rightfully so, make France great again. And he claimed he had not skipped a World War I cemetery visits at the weekend because of the rain, instead claiming it was because his helicopter couldn't land, and the Secret Service had told him he could not travel through Paris by car. He wrote, by the way, when the helicopter couldn't fly to the first cemetery in France because of almost zero visibility, I suggested driving. Secret Service said no, too far from airport. Speech next day at American cemetery in pouring rain. Little reported fake news, but one further part of the Twitter rant has raised eyebrows. Trump singled out France's high tariffs on imports of foreign wines for particularly strong criticism, dedicating an entire tweet to calling for it to be easier for America to export wines to the region. He wrote, on trade, France makes excellent wine, but so does the U.S. The problem is that France makes it very hard for the U.S. to sell its wines into France, and charges big tariffs, whereas the U.S. makes it easy for French wines, and charges very small tariffs. Not fair, must change. And why might he have done that? Because Donald Trump owns a huge vineyard in Virginia. The Trump Winery, nominally run by his son Eric Trump, manufactures some 36,000 cases of wine a year. Trump has frequently claimed the winery is the largest in the state, and at 227 acres. By area that's true, but it's the third largest by output. Winery currently exports to Canada, Scotland, India and Panama, but not France. Eric Trump has declared he wishes to expand the wine's distribution nationally and globally.